They've had some problems overall in terms of management and governance. Is that why the stock's down, or is it their fundamentals?
Well, you can't really disentangle the two. I mean, this all started back in July when the California government brought a lawsuit against them for discrimination and harassment within the company. Initially, the stock didn't react that much, but a few weeks later, it became apparent that this was going to impact their pipeline, that games that they had planned to ship in 2022 were going to be delayed further out. And I think that sort of brought an appearance of management not having a great handle of what was going on inside the company. It was a disappointment from an earnings perspective. So it's kind of been the whole thing is one big disappointment for investors that's driven the stock down.
What would you like to see in terms of changes on the governance front?
Yeah, so as we pointed out in our note today, Activision's chairman of the board, Brian Kelly, has been a colleague of the CEO, Bobby Kotick's, for over 30 years. They bought the company together out of bankruptcy. We think a lot of these problems are due to a lack of good governance and oversight. And we would prefer to see an independent director brought in as chairman to do a better job of essentially holding the CEO and management's feet to the fire on this and making sure that there's a more of a sense of urgency around this.
Doug, do you know of any activist investors who are looking at this one and hoping for some change in terms of corporate governance, would run a proxy slate and all of that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've gotten that question a lot from clients. I haven't heard of anybody looking at that. I think this is a tricky one because, even if you were to fix the governance problem, even if you were to even replace Bobby Kotick, if you chose to do that, you still have the issue that the Blizzard asset, which they merged with 13 years ago, has really underperformed for that entire time and needs to be fixed. And this isn't a company which just makes widgets where you just make it more efficient and you're more profitable. Like, these are people that I think have worked in a difficult environment and they haven't been able to do their best creative work. They've had a lot of turnover in the employee ranks there. And it's going to take a lot of work to put that back together. There's no easy fix there, which, activists like to come in and do a few things and suddenly the earnings are higher. This isn't that situation. So I don't know how attractive this would be to an activist investor.
Well, the reason I ask is because an activist would theoretically be able to shake up the board. I'm just looking at their bylaws here. They say that they don't have a poison pill or similar anti-takeover provision in place. It looks like shareholder voting matters decided by a simple majority rule. So theoretically, an outside investor would be the one to kind of make change because the board has said that it is standing by Bobby Kotick. So, if you're looking for change at the top, I just wonder kind of where that actually comes from.
Yeah, I mean, you could, right? The thing is, if for an activist, it's not enough, and sorry, my phone here, it's not enough to just, say, hey, we're going to change the board, but then, that has to result in a higher stock price for you to get paid as an activist investor. I think having better governance would definitely be better for the company over the long run. But does it make a huge difference in the next 12 to 18 months? Again, fixing Blizzard is going to take a while, and there's not going to be sort of a quick fix here that means a immediate turnaround in stock price, I don't think.
Doug, thanks so much for joining us. Good to see you.
Absolutely.